Hey guys, Professor Bell Comic Book University and X-Men Blue issue number 7. We're trucking along, man, and we got a serious... It's funny how, like, the comic was kind of all over the place for the most part, and all of a sudden Secret Empire comes along, and this comic, it steps in line, and it's amazing. It's so focused right now. I'm afraid of when Secret Empire ends, like what's going to happen here. But for right now, it is extremely focused. All right, we've got the X-Men, the Junior X-Men, whatever, the X-Men Blue. The blue team goes in and it turns out that New TN actually has a prisoner colony for humans and mutants who live there. And basically it's just people who, like Jean Grey found this by looking in Cerebro. And she realized that these people are there simply because they spoke out against the new government. Sometimes not even in a major way, just, a little bit. So they're being sent there for mental reconditioning. Holy crap, dude. Talk about 1984. Like, are these guys in room 101? What the heck's going on here? Anyway, so they put a beating down and they go back to their little base, which is off hiding in the Redwood National Park. And hey, guess what? Archangel followed them. Stealthy son of a gun. And Havoc shows up and a small retinue of mutants shows up. Toad is one of them, and apparently he's got what they're calling a secondary mutation, where his tongue is now on fire. Yeah, newsflash, his tongue is a secondary mutation. So the tongue catching on fire is tertiary. I don't want to hear about secondary mutations when he didn't have that tongue for the first dozen years or so, first couple of decades that he's been in existence. A movie comes along and suddenly everything changes. Anyway, so basically they get overtaken because their numbers, they just don't have the numbers or the training to take on these guys. And some of these guys are really sadistic. Like, case in point, it feels like Firestar, who was there, who I thought was actually leading the team, was actually the most merciful of them. She was the coolest, but everybody else there, man, they go to town. Even Wolfsbane is there, and she's got a new mutation where she can apparently make one into many. So I'm wondering exactly what's happening here. Is this all just in the dream? Like, is Emma Frost just making this stuff happen? Because, there's a lot of stuff happening that seems out of order. It seems just a little bit weird to me, because now all of a sudden it's known that Emma Frost is there. Zorn is apparently still in charge, but is she controlling him? She's out in the open. Beast, older Beast, is actually there, and he's just like, oh yeah, I'm going along with this and everything. And Sebastian Shaw is in on this. They still think that Magneto is dead, and all sorts of dude. Like, this is wacky crazy. It's wacky crazy, but the focus is still intense and it's cool. Guys, I'm going to give this comic a B+. In many ways it was better, but they do have to do a lot of explaining. And I think that in these big events, unfortunately, this gets shuffled ahead and this gets, left behind. And a couple stories, they're not completely up to continuity just yet. So we don't have the full timeline of what's going on. It'll be a whole lot easier to look at this in a year and go back and say, oh, well, obviously this happened first and then this happened. But right now in the thick of it, it's slightly foggy. There's a fog of war going on here. By the very end, man, Emma shows up because the young X-Men Blue, get taken prisoner, and Cyclops has a power dampener on, and Emma shows up, and she's just like, Emma and Scott against the world. It's always been you and me. It's always been us, hasn't it? So, yeah, she's trying to get, a little sexy time in with him. Honestly, a lot of people can be like, oh, but he's so young and she's so old. Guys, anybody remember the original Old Man Logan? When she was with Dr. Doom, she still looked like regular old Emma. So she's using psychic manipulations and illusions to make people think that she looks the way that she wants them to look. And she could be 9 million years old. So she could be Ensaba Noor's original girlfriend. I'm just saying. And you would still look at her the way that she wants you to look at her. So I don't even find this freaky at all, man. I find it Emma. All right, guys. That's it from me, Professor Bell, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.